I'm Dr. Rohini here. This topic is for nursing students, and here we are going to introduce you to various bones in the skeletal system. So, here we have cranial bones. So, this is the calvaria. There are various bones. There is frontal bone, parietal bone, temporal bone. You have here maxilla. Then there are bones in the bony orbit, small ones. There is a nasal bone here. Then there is mandible, which is also called the lower jaw. So other than that, there are joints here which you can identify. That is temporomandibular joint. This is very, very important joint in between the lower jaw, that is mandible. And you can see some cervical vertebrae. There are 7 cervical vertebrae which are supporting the neck region. And then here there is a collarbone that is called the clavicle, which is horizontally placed bone. And there are ribs attached to the sternum in front. So these ribs are called true ribs which are attached. And there are some ribs which are again attached through the cartilage. They are called the false ribs. So these are all false ribs. The ones which are directly attached are called true ribs. So let's count them. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 6 are called true ribs. Then there is 7, 8, 9, 10 which are called the false ribs. And there are 2 which do not attach to the sternum and they are called, these 2 are called, that is 11th and 12th, as floating ribs. Okay, other than that, you can see in the thoracic region some vertebrae here. There are 12 of them. They're all attached to the ribs. So all these ribs, that is forming the rib cage, is attached to the thoracic vertebrae at the back. And between the vertebrae, you can see a glistening thing that is called intervertebral disc, IV disc it is called. So you must have heard of slip disc. This is what is the disc. Then there are some big ones, they are called the lumbar vertebrae. There are 5 of them. So there are 7 cervical, 12 thoracic and 5 lumbar. Then there is another bone here that is called the sacrum. 5 of them fused together form the sacrum. Then there is a small bone at the back that is called coccyx. Now coming to another bone here in the chest region that is called the sternum. It has 3 parts. There is a part that is called manubrium, body and xiphoid process. Manubrium, body, xiphoid process. So these are the 3 parts of the sternum. So they support the rib cage by attaching it to the ribs. Alright, next coming to the lower limb, you can see the pelvis. This is called the bony pelvis. Together with the sacrum, it is called the bony pelvis. This is the hip bone. This is called the false pelvis. Here inside is called the true pelvis. And here you have a bone that is attached, that is femur. So this femur articulates with the hip bone to form the hip joint. And this long one, big bone is called femur. Then you have patella, tibia, fibula. Then you have tarsals, metatarsals and phalanges. Okay, so these are the bones in the lower limb. So the lower limb forms the appendicular skeleton. Along with this hip bone, it forms the appendicular skeleton. So now here also, this upper limb has humerus, radius, ulna, carpals, metacarpals and phalanges. So these form the appendicular skeleton. Whatever bones are present in the center, they are all called the axial skeleton.